talk about, I guess, the overall performance of your guys during the postseason? I mean, it seems like another gear has been turned on, and they've just been able to work things so well this postseason.
Yeah, obviously, we've gone through our ups and downs. Everybody has, but I've been a big believer in them all along. It's a matter, I think, of it coming all together. I think those guys believe in themselves, and it's great. But then we have a down game come back, so just obviously some ups and downs in it. But couldn't be prouder of them, obviously, how they performed down the stretch here. I think they all went about it the right way, really competed hard, filled up the strike zone, made a lot of great pitches, and obviously we're rewarded for it. So very gratifying to see how we have been able to finish down the stretch.
Patrick is, been your Friday night guy and had the little, I guess, couple weeks where he was out, but his play since he's come back, have you seen him? Was that rest very beneficial to him for the end of this year?
Well, I think, obviously he had the forearm issue, so he's out for a couple of weeks. But the thing that has stood out to me about that the most when he came back was that I thought progressively each outing was a little better. There were positives to extract from each outing, like something was better, something was better, something was better. And, he's been able to continue that trend. And it's, I don't know if it, maybe it rejuvenated him somehow, obviously, in a long season. Yeah, he was down in the valley during that time, but I'm proud of him how he's been able to, come back out of it. So it's been good to see.
With Tucker now, you basically it seems like the number two guy. You're talking about a guy that came out of the bullpen and now a starter. How did the bullpen, prepare him for a stage like this?
Well, he started some early in his career. Obviously, his freshman year, he had some spot starts, and obviously he's become an accomplished reliever at this level. But we just felt like, looking at where we were and, what we wanted to try to do, that he's got the arsenal to turn around a lineup, more than one time with what he throws, 2 breaking balls, changeup, sinker, 4-seamer. So we've always felt he's well equipped to do that. It was just a matter of getting him ready to do a little more, which that's kind of how we approached it. 40-some pitches, 50-some, 60. So his number's been able to get up. But I made the comment, late in the season, to the other coaches that, after the way those guys, all 3 pitched against Georgia Tech, I said, if we can get our bullpen in order, these guys can keep throwing like this, we'll have a chance down the stretch. And it's been great to see it come together.
Yeah, you've had a lot of impressive freshmen throughout your career here at Louisville. Ethan's another one. Talk about his progression, from when he first walked on to probably a bright-eyed freshman to being able to step on the stage like this.
Yeah, I made this comment a few times, recently, that there's been a couple of freshmen that have stood out since I've been here. Obviously, I've had a lot of great ones, but when I put the tag on you that you're not afraid of anything as a freshman, I don't just throw that out randomly. I said that about Nick Bennett. I said that about Adam Elliott when he was here. And there's 2 guys in that freshman group that I'm very comfortable saying the same thing. Ethan Everly's one and Jake Schweitzer is the other. That never looked like the moment was too big for them. Competitive kids, have the right spirit, have the right makeup on the mound to win those moments and overcome those moments. So, Ethan obviously was pitching great for us as a reliever, but again, where we were at that point in time, let's try to see if Everly can become a starter, and he's been able to grab it and run with it. So, it's been great. His evolution's been terrific, and again, high-level competitor. So, we're excited about obviously what he's done this year, but in the future as well.
How do you keep all of those guys in the bullpen as well, level-headed? Tomorrow night once the first pitch is going.
We talk about it. I mean, there's been a lot of back and forth the whole year. These guys have, even though it hasn't always been smooth, they've never stopped working. And they've stayed hungry to get better. They apply themselves in practice, and you just keep trying to work in the direction where, I've said all along, I've told them, I'm a believer, I know what's in us. I saw how we pitched against our offense in the fall, and what we've done against good teams in the season. We pitched really well against good teams throughout the season. And so sometimes, we have that game, and you go home as a coach and you start scratching your head like, what did I just watch? But when are we gonna climb out of this thing for good? That's what I kept waiting for. But they stuck with it, and they believed, and so our bullpen knows that. I mean, we're not a complete game group. I mean, I never have been as a coach, but I've always believed in the value of a bullpen, and we're doing the things to keep those other guys sharp. A guy like Colton Hartman hasn't been in a game yet, but he's throwing great right now. We put him in sim games during practice so they stay sharp, facing hitters. And so that moment, the bus is probably pulling up to Colton here soon because I think he's trending up and he's looked great. And they've all stuck with it that way. I mean, Peter hasn't had a start in a long time, but he continues to work with sim games, keep them sharp, work in the bullpen, work daily. So, the communication lines have been open all year. And these guys know it's their job to prepare to be ready, and just because there's a chance the ball's going to get flipped to them at some point.
Yeah. Last question for you. Dan says, it's all hands on deck. When you get to the postseason like that, you could potentially see Tone Tucker out or Ethan out there in game one?
I think Ethan. I think Tucker will definitely be available in game one. That discussion's already been had with Tucker. Ethan having started the Sunday game. I worked with him today. He threw a pin, so I really would like him. For me, it's about where we have our other lefties will be ready.
Yeah.
So you have West is ready, you have Wide is ready, you have Partner, I just mentioned, ready, you have Stark ready, you have TJ ready. So I don't know that, even though Everly's throwing great, we have the guys that have been throwing out of the pen well for us lately available. So I think Ethan's more target in whatever direction we decide to go, probably in game two. But yeah, that's been the message for a long time. We're going to play one game at a time. It's all hands on deck. We've been announcing our starters one game at a time. Our guys have totally bought into that.
Awesome. Appreciate it, Roger.